Hello, folks, and welcome to Telling Tinder Tales, the podcast where the search for love often goes wrong, dates get strange, but the one thing we can be sure of is that we'll all have a good laugh about it. With me, Chris O'Neill.
And me, I'm back. It's Thomasin Lockwood, still sounding a little bit croaky at times, but very happy to be here to meet our guest and to hear yet another weird or wild, maybe hopefully even wonderful dating story. What do you think we'll get tonight, Chris, out of those three?
I've no idea. I think it'll be wild and wonderful. I hope it is. And I would like to say again a thank you to Alice for standing in while you were recuperating. Did an amazing job.
I know. She was so good. I was getting quite worried for my job, quite frankly. Well done. Thank you, Alice.
Yeah, no, I think you're safe on that front, Thomasin. So, Thomasin, who have we got here with us this week?
I'm very excited to introduce Lucy. Lucy, hello. Tell us where you're calling in from. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name's Lucy. I'm calling in from London. I'm 27 and I work in sports broadcasting. I am currently single and I have been for nearly 3 years.
Oh, what, have you ever dated a sports personality?
I have never dated a sports personality. I've met them, and often when I meet them, I lose the ability to speak, which is really rare for me because I talk a lot. So I think dating a sports personality, I think it wouldn't go very well for me unless they liked dating somebody that wasn't very good at getting their words out. Then it would be perfect.
Well, from what I understand, a lot of sports people kind of, they more talk with their bodies than being great orators. Is that the right phrase? I'm trying to sound smart.
I don't know about that. I suspect they probably are better at talking with their bodies, because when you think about some sports people in post-match interviews, it's not great, is it? It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of witty conversation you'd want on a date. But when you see them on the sports pitch, for example,
this is it.
That can be some pretty impressive stuff.
I fancy Harry Kane so much. It's the widow's peak. I've got a bit of a thing for it.
Do you?
Yes.
So my sports crush is Harry Maguire, and it has been for the longest time, since I think the 2018 World Cup.
Nice.
And everyone was just wondering what I saw in him, because he's quite notorious for being maybe not like objectively attractive to societal standards, and B, not particularly good at football. But what I really like about him is he's so good at headers, because he has that massive head. He's so amazing at headers, and it's just so attractive.
So what else would that head be good for?
Well,
Chris,
we can
thoughts?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, if he ever listens to the podcast, have you blown your chances? But maybe not. Maybe you've actually moved right up the ranks there. Although the term not conventionally good looking is pretty damning, I have to say.
That's pretty brutal, isn't it? I really hope he's not a listener. Well, you know what? Maybe he is. One hopes he is, but
I've said it before and I've said it again. Like, I think, girls like Loki, guys like Thor. Like, we like them a little bit weird, but we like them charismatic.
I don't know. I like both Loki and Thor. At this point, I'd have both.
Fair,
to be honest with you. Yeah, I do quite like a kooky guy, though.
That sounds like an interesting scenario. Anyway, moving on to where we're not actually threatening people. Anyway, so, Lucy, would you like to tell your story, please?
Sure, absolutely. So this was a couple of years ago now, kind of around this time of year. I matched with this man on Hinge. And I remember he was a pretty good looking guy. He was pretty tall, so that worked in his favour. And we were just having general chit chat. And then he decided to set up a date. He worked as a manager at the Canary Wharf ice rink.
And just for any international listeners, just let us know very briefly what Canary Wharf is usually known for and why that's an ice rink there is already a bit random.
It's already really strange to have an ice rink there, because Canary Wharf is like where all the business people work, I think. I've never really been to Canary Wharf except for to go to the ice rink. It's not really my kind of place, but if you're into business, you must simply go to Canary Wharf. Anyway, so he said, let's go to Canary Wharf ice rink. I can get you in for free. It was a seasonal job. When he's not working as a manager at Canary Wharf ice rink, he is some sort of aviation engineer. So quite different careers. He didn't like that so much. He much preferred managing the ice rink. So I get to Canary Wharf ice rink. I've told my colleagues about this. They all think it's quite a bad idea, but they all encourage me to go because it will be good for the plot. Shows how much they care about me. Anyway, so we get to the ice rink, meet him. He's a relatively attractive guy. I get my ice skates on. I think to myself, this is so utterly bizarre. What a great way of meeting somebody, one to tell the grandkids. So we get on the ice rink. He's very good. I'm not very good at ice skating, and I've never become good at ice skating. So we start ice skating, and not long into the ice skating, he starts filming me, and I go, "What are you doing?" Yeah. He starts filming me, and I say, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Making memories."
Oh.
Yeah. We hadn't been with each other for that long at that point, probably under an hour into the date. So he filmed me making some memories, and we skated around a bit. We had a bit of a chat. We talked about how he doesn't like getting on the tube because it makes him feel quite claustrophobic. So he drives everywhere. So he had driven, of course, to Canary Wharf. Yeah, in London. Yeah. Driving around London. So we skate for like an hour, and then we go to a rooftop bar in Canary Wharf for a couple of drinks. He's driving, so he has apple juice, and I have a couple of regular drinks. So we have a nice chat up there. When we're chatting up there, I realised we don't have like that much in common. Like it probably isn't going to work out, but he's offered me a lift home, because he drives and lives near where I live. So we walk back via the ice rink. I tell him that I'm cold, and he very kindly lends me his Canary Wharf ice rink manager hoodie. So I've got merch. I've got merch. And we walk back to his car, and we get to the car park. He's got a very souped up Merc there, a very souped up Mercedes. And we get in the car. He's showing me how everything sort of works. He's showing me that there's coloured lights in there. It's a bit like being in a spaceship, I suppose. I wouldn't know. I've never been in a spaceship. But I guess one would think it looked like that. And then sort of out of nowhere, he suggests something that I didn't really approve of. So I was like, no thanks. To which he kind of insinuated I was a bit of a prude.
What the fuck?
Yeah, not too good. So he drives me home. It's not the best drive home because the whole time I'm like, he's definitely not my kind of guy. He drops me off. I get out of the car. We both get out of the car. We kiss goodbye. That's it. Nothing else happens. And into the house I go, knowing full well I'm never going to see him again. But I am still wearing his hoodie. So I still have that hoodie.
No!
And it is my prized possession. And the weird thing is, I've got 2 hoodies from dates that I've been on.
Whoa.
That I've never seen again. I've just ended up with their hoodies and just left it at that. But yeah, I'd say that would be possibly my craziest date I've been on. We went from making memories to quite a sus suggestion and then walking away with a hoodie.
Okay.
Excellent.
I have to say I'm immediately suspicious in that aircraft engineering is very well paid, right? But I wasn't aware that they let people take time off at Christmas.
To go and manage ice rinks.
To go and manage an ice rink.
I mean, my theory was just going to be that he just imagined that that's what his job was.
Did it ever occur to you to wear the hoodie back and bring a date of your own, pretending to be the manager?
That's such a good idea. I've not thought about that. That's such a good idea.
It's like a plot for a romantic movie.
Basically, I just wear that hoodie. I do it once a year, pop over to the Canary Wharf ice rink with my manager jumper on and skate around with the boy. You mentioned your celebrity crush. Perhaps you could invite your celebrity crush to ice skating What a way to slide into his DMs.
Sliding
I work
in,
at the
literally. Yeah.
But I'm the manager, I can get free tickets, so...
I am skating into his DMs with my ice skates from Canary Wharf Ice Rink.
Yeah. I had a question for you, Lucy, but first I'll preface it. So you said that you went on the date with him because your friends convinced you to do it for the plot. So my first question actually is for Chris, which is, have you heard of that saying? Do you know the saying, do it for the plot?
I haven't heard the phrase, but I presume it means something like, so that you'll have a story to tell.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a phrase that the young people use to justify doing crazy shit. So with that in mind, I was going to say, if you did this date for the plot, what would the title of this movie be?
That's difficult. I suppose if it had gone well, the date, it could be a nice sort of like something about melting an ice cold heart.
Yeah.
I have a question. The other hoodie that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Other hoodie. What is the brand or genre or style of that?
That's quite high end. That's Michael Kors.
Ah.
That's a Michael Kors hoodie.
Explain again for any sort of global listeners.
Michael Kors is a brand. It's a high street designer, I'd say, rather than being like a proper nice designer. So you can afford it at a push. But I mean, he could afford it, but he couldn't drive his car because he'd got banned from driving. So
Wow, the type is starting to reveal itself.
I have a type, and it's men who should not be allowed to drive. I love that. I love a passenger princess, apparently.
Well, I will say, even though, you went on this adventure for the plot, I'm very proud of you for saying no and sticking to that boundary, because I can imagine in that moment, like the pressure and how uncomfortable that might have been. Can I ask with him, kind of thinking you're a prude and maybe things have got a bit sour, you said you kissed goodbye at the end. Are we talking European kiss or like tongues? Like did you tell me more?
We made out.
Okay.
Oh.
It was quite. How was it? It was actually pretty decent. For one, this is what a turn. I think making out's amazing.
Yeah.
So I kind of will do it at every opportunity. And even though it was a bit sour and a bit awkward in the car, it's quite a long journey. So we kind of ended up civil at the end. And I still fancied him. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Michael Kors thing. Have you ever figured a way of using that top to your advantage?
I haven't actually, but I maybe should start wearing it to quite bougie places and seeing if I can get in for free. Although it is quite obviously a man's hoodie and it is quite like daggy and old at this point.
Well, I was going to say, will you ever give it away, or is the plan to keep it? And then one day when you're like a dithering old grandma, and they're like, "Grandma, what's this?" And you're like, "Oh, Grandma had a past." Like,
that's a good idea. I could put it in Grandma's relic museum. Because right now it just gathers dust. It's helpful for maybe taking the bins out if you're a bit cold, but that's about it, really.
Yeah, very well. That's definitely. I mean, you're on the up, I think.
I could put it in a memory box. My parents, I say my parents, my mum made me a memory box. So I think maybe I start making myself one.
That's cute.
And when my kids are of a certain, I don't have kids now, but if and when I have kids and they're of an appropriate age.
That might be an excuse to get back in contact with the skating guy, because he has memories for you, doesn't he? Remember the video footage?
Oh, yeah.
Get that on a
I
USB
could get him to
stick.
put it on a USB. Brilliant. That's a really good idea.
Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up, because when you said, "What are you doing?" I was so convinced, Lucy, that he was going to be like, "Oh, actually, I've got to make content for social media about the ice rink."
Because he was the manager.
Yeah, and I thought, oh no, is it like roped you into making like social media content, and that's it. But it was even worse. It was genuine. But I was going to say,
It was worse. I could have been an influencer.
This is right. Like, oh no, is that my camera? But
I could be selling Dubai chocolate now, if that had been the case.
Yeah. But Lucy, I was going to ask though, when you said, "What are you doing?" would there have been any excuse that would have sufficed for him filming you at that point?
No, there would have. I actually think that making memories was the best answer. It was the best outcome for us all. Because I thought, you know what, if this does go well, that's very sweet. But if this goes badly, what a funny thing to have been said on a date.
And was it like you were skating, you turned around and saw he's like behind you, filming you like on the sly, or is it more like selfie time? Like
it was like I was behind him, like basically, you know, when it's like I'm not even Bambi on ice. It's like when you're like plodding on ice, it's just really bad. Like you're not even skating, you're just hobbling around. He was a good skater, thank goodness. He was the manager of the ice rink.
Yeah.
He was skating in front of me, but facing towards me. And I was kind of looking down at my feet, being like, I really hope I don't fall over, because I actually think the worst part about ice skating is falling over.
It is.
So then I look up and he's just filming me. And I'm just like, what are you doing? So it was quite an odd... I was feeling really vulnerable in that moment, actually. He caught me when I was really vulnerable.
Because I'm going to be honest, I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt and think like, oh, I bet he's like texting his mates like, oh, I'm on a date with this fit bird. But it's you like Bambi walking.
Yeah.
I don't know. Although I do love the idea of like a manager for an ice rink who can't ice skate. Like being right this way and then like plodding through.
That would be me if I ever wore that hoodie back there again and someone asked to speak to the manager. They were like, can you get on the ice? I'd be like, give me a second. It'd be like in that episode of Parks and Rec when they run out of red carpet. That's literally what it was like, me on the ice rink. It was very bad. Plod, plod, plod.
Oh, man. For anyone who hasn't seen that, just YouTube Parks and Rec ice rink. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It's so good.
It's so funny. That's literally what I looked like on the ice. And he thought it was... memory making worthy.
Well, I was going to ask you, Chris, what do you think is the appropriate time that you start filming another person that you've been dating, like in terms of like the making memories aspect? When do you move past that? Because that is quite a serious thing, isn't it, Lucy?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think if you were filming something else, like if you went to an event and you filmed the person cheering or something, you can do that from the beginning. I think it's never appropriate if you're sitting down having food or something like that. Like, who wants to be filmed when they're eating? I mean, it's just, you need to be a really good actor to get it. And no actor ever does eat on film anyway, if you notice very carefully. So, I don't know.
Yeah, or else you just like Denethor in Lord of the Rings with the tomatoes. Like,
does he not? I've actually only seen Lord of the Rings once.
And I sound like such a nerd, but...
Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing for you, isn't it? I just sound like the coolest girl ever.
I'm just trying to think of like
once.
an ugly like eating scene where they're like going for it and like, but it's supposed to be symbolic, guys.
You know one that is, and it's one that springs to mind. Whenever I'm really hungry and I literally inhale food, I always feel like Keira Knightley in Pirates of the Caribbean when she's on the boat and she eats that bread and she's really going for
and
it.
He's like, try this, try that. And she's like,
yeah. And she's eating that chicken drumstick, isn't she? She's going crazy for
That's
it.
a lot. That's a sexier eating scene than Denethor eating the tomatoes. That's a good one.
Yeah. It is a good one. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be filmed.
In regard to the man who you didn't ever go out with again, did he ever mention where he brings dates when he's not running the ice rink?
One would probably think to an airfield. He never mentioned it. He never said. But I suspect he just takes them to an aerodrome and flies them around on a glider or something. I don't know. I don't know what I would have preferred.
Oh, you wouldn't have enjoyed a glider. I went in a glider once and you'd think it's going to be very calm and soothing, and it was extraordinarily bumpy and unpleasant. Really was.
When did you go in a glider? I know this is the first time that we've ever met, but when did you go in a glider?
He doesn't seem like the gliding type.
There's a gliding club within a couple of miles of where I live and a parachute club in the same venue. And I've never got out of a parachute, let me make that clear. But my wife bought me a present, I think, for my 50th of a glide. It was not pleasant at all. I really didn't enjoy it.
Oh, that's a shame. I always thought it looked really nice.
Actually, that would be a terrible date.
well, this brings me to my next question. First of all, I think the fact that Canary Wharf has an ice rink, I mean, like, when I first came to London, right, it really was pure business. Now you go there on weekends and there's like families running around. But I love Canary Wharf has an ice rink. It's saying, I don't know, like the Square Mile has a donkey sanctuary. Like, it's just not, it's quite strange. But But the fact that you agreed to go on this date, even though you weren't a confident ice skater, my question is, if you were going to go on a date where you wanted to show off a skill of yours, what would that be? What would that venue or activity be?
That's such a good question. I don't really have any talents or abilities, so I don't know. Where would I go?
Maybe a hoodie store? Be like, watch this, I'm about to steal
look at
all
this
of
hoodie.
these.
Oh yeah, I could steal loads of hoodies. I'm quite good at swimming, so they could watch me do some lengths, perhaps.
See, I was like, we could go on a sexy beach day out, and you're like, do you want to come watch me do some lengths at the local?
Yeah. Look at me in my swim cap and goggles.
Oh,
I think that for a man to take a woman ice skating, I think that's quite, like, for a first date as well, it's quite out there, isn't it? He was good at it. It's just a shame he wasn't good at anything else on the date, but he was really good at ice skating, and it was really impressive. I think if he'd been like, oh, let's go swimming, I'm really good at it, then
yeah,
I probably wouldn't be. Well, no, I would. I'd probably just get in the pool as well.
To be fair, like, I guess in his head he was like, I got to start strong. I got to show her my good traits, which is ice skating. Yeah.
If you were going to bring someone on a first date, apart from getting in the swimming pool, where would you bring them, do you think?
I do quite like a trip to sort of a bowling alley that has an arcade. There's one in North London that I go to regularly with my friends.
Oh,
I think that's quite good fun.
Nice.
Actually, that's something that I'm quite good at that I would do on a date. Guitar Hero. I think anywhere where I get to do Guitar Hero or dance mats, brilliant. I think and actually I'm quite good at darts, which people wouldn't like, as in darts with that you put in a board. So somewhere like a pub with an arcade is right up my street for a first date, I think. I think that's because it's a good way to show off. And if you're not enjoying the date, you're going to enjoy playing the games, aren't you? So
I think that's a great idea, because you're right. If the date is going bad, you can still have a fun evening out. But on the flip side, there's been dates I've had in the past where I had a really fun time with them, but later realised it's because I was doing a fun activity. Like, there's a date I remember from 10 years ago because the show was so good. I can't even remember the guy's name, but it was just the best date ever.
Wow. That's often the way. I find that I come back from a date and I go, oh, that was a really fun time. Let's do a second date. And then I realised the reason why the first date was fun was because I was on really good form.
This is it. You were also there.
Yeah.
But I actually think that's a really great note to wrap up on, because sometimes when people are on dating out there and they're getting disillusioned, or maybe they've been in like a long-term relationship and then having to put themselves out there dating again. Like, one big thing I had was, but my last relationship was so fun. And having to remind myself, you will also get into a relationship or get into dates that will also be fun, because you will also be there.
Yeah.
Like, you were also there in that last relationship. You were also making it fun. It's not all on them to create something good.
Yeah. That's a very good outlook, I think. I remember with my last relationship, after the first date, I came away and I was like, oh my God, that was amazing. That was so much fun. And I never thought I'd replicate that feeling. And then I have done on subsequent dates. And then I'm like, oh, that's because I was there.
Yeah.
That's why. Like, I can still go out and have fun with people. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's great. This has been so much fun.
Excellent. Very uplifting.
It's because I was here.
Yeah,
that's why.
Exactly.
Precisely.
Yeah.
I think because Lucy's here.
That's why.
Have you any more thoughts before we let you go?
Any more thoughts? My thoughts would just be, if someone ever takes you ice skating, make sure they don't film you, because you will end up looking like Bambi trying to walk for the first time.
Oh man, this has been such I've come back after being poorly, and this is what a great dating story to come back to. Thank you, Lucy, and thank you, listeners. Thank you for listening today. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share on whatever platform you're on, whatever you need to do to keep us in your life, and please do give us a review. It makes a huge difference to an up and coming podcast like us. give us 5 stars. If you give us 5 stars, I will set you on a date with Harry Maguire. But if you give us...
I know what I'm giving. I know what rating I'm giving.
yeah, we've got a brand deal with Harry Maguire. But if you give us 1 star, well, then I will steal your hoodie. So there. And most importantly, if you liked it, tell one person face to face, the old-fashioned way. And we'd love to hear your story. Listeners, get in touch at tellingtindertales@gmail.com.
We've got live shows coming up. We're in Leicester all through February and in Glasgow in March. So if you are in those cities at that time, please do come along. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear you laughing and telling your stories. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, and follow us on socials at Telling Tinder Tales for dates and details.
So that's goodbye from me, and like everyone else, say goodbye. Say goodbye, folks. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you on the rink.
Telling Tinder Tales is hosted and produced by me, Chris O'Neill, and Thomasin Lockwood. Produced and edited by Lucy Regan, with music by Quincas Moreira. It's a Jester's Comedy Dublin production and is no way affiliated with or endorsed by Tinder. If you have a story to tell, please get in touch. Details are in the show notes. And if you like us, instead of swiping right, follow us on Instagram and or TikTok at Telling Tinder Tales.